is the Fox 5 News Block.
The Justice Department wrapping up its meeting today with Jeffrey Epstein's former girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell, what the president had to say about a potential pardon for her. And Mayor Adams and the president speaking today following the DOJ's announcement that it was suing New York City over its sanctuary city laws. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Antoine Lewis. Welcome to the News Block. Those stories in a moment, but first, it is all about the weather right now. We want you to check out John Jay Park on the Upper East Side. The pool and the beaches are the place to be today, and we are dealing with scorching temperatures and the threat of severe storms. A double punch as we take a look outside, and we're going to bring Liv Johnson in to discuss what the weather looks like right now. Hi, Liv.
Hi, Antoine. Well, we just have a little bit of everything today. Pretty much every alert that's possible is in our area, except for snow. So first thing, we have this air quality advisory, which is through all 5 boroughs of New York City. We have it out on Long Island too, kind of the southwest, or I guess really the whole southern portion of Connecticut, up into the lower Hudson Valley and some parts of New Jersey. This is pretty typical. This happens when we face extreme heat, so nothing we're not really used to. But we do have this heat advisory and extreme heat warning for some parts of New Jersey. This goes until 8 p.m. The good news is we will find some relief soon. Tomorrow will be a bit better, but if you spent any time outside today, you won't be surprised to know that we have this heat advisory and again, an extreme heat warning for most of inland New Jersey. Then we have severe thunderstorm watches and warnings. So we're already getting some storms through the area. We see Litchfield, Connecticut, New Haven, Connecticut, and then we have Morris and also Sussex County getting some severe thunderstorms right now. The watch means, yes, you'll get some severe thunderstorms. The warning means you'll be getting them, and you'll be getting them very soon, if not in the middle of it already. And this is until 9 p.m. tonight. So we already see these storms going through portions of Connecticut. And you know what? Yesterday on the Futurecast, it did look like most of Connecticut would get a little bit of a tougher beating than some of us here in New York City or maybe out on Long Island. So already getting some storms again through Litchfield and also New Haven. Then we have some crossing through New Jersey right now. And you see a lot of lightning for portions of Connecticut as well. And again, moving through New Jersey. We're kind of level 2 here with severe outlook. So there's marginal, which is the first, and then we have slight. Most of the tri-state area is under that slight. We're getting a little bit of a relief up in parts of New York State, but it's really kind of just crossing right through our DMA. It looks like it kind of popped out of nowhere. I mean, even when we saw that live picture outside in New York City, a lot of people enjoying the pool, trying to cool off a bit because of this extreme heat. But this is what happens when we have extreme heat. It's a lot easier for storms to pop up. And they're actually popping up ahead of a cold front. So that's what's traveling through the area right now, which, again, that's a little bit of good news because not only is this cold front going to help us out a little bit temperature-wise, but once these storms move through and the rain moves through, we'll also be cooled down quite a bit. And it is pretty short-lived. So the cold front moves through, brings us some strong storms, and then we have high pressure that visits us at least for a day. So Saturday we get some relief, but then Sunday we get back to more probably strong thunderstorms and some showers move through the area. So here's what the Futurecast looks like. It's not too widespread. It is quite scattered, but still a lot of us are going to get a taste of these stronger storms. And really, it's not even a whole lot of rainfall that's the problem. It's a very small risk of flash flooding, but we are expecting some damaging wind gusts, which of course usually is what comes with thunderstorms, even a very small chance of seeing a little bit of hail. Rainfall totals aren't too much for the end of today, just about 1/4 of an inch probably. But then Sunday, we look to have kind of more all-day rain in the area. So Sunday, we'll get some more rainfall. Current temperatures in the 90s. Look at Newark, 99 degrees, 93 for New York. We have just 80 for Hartford because the storms are moving through, so it's being cooled down a bit. 91 out on Long Island, 93 for Poughkeepsie, but we know better because these feel like temperatures. 101 in New York, 98 for Hartford, feels like 104 for Newark. And again, these are just because storms are moving through, so we're getting cooled down a bit, but feels like triple-digit heat for most of us, and those dew point temperatures still very high in the mid-70s. A little bit relief tomorrow, but then we'll go right back up for our Sunday. Antoine?
So, Liv, now explain how humidity factors into all of this with what you were just telling us.
With the feel-like temperature? Yes, I mean, the higher the dew point temperatures, which usually mid-60s is when it starts to feel uncomfortable, that's when we have that moisture in the air and it feels like we're walking through soup versus walking through clear skies. So we have that for the rest of today. We do find a little bit of relief tomorrow. Those dew point temperatures kind of go down into the 50s even, which is going to feel a lot better. But then they ramp back up for Sunday when we have more showers and thunderstorms move through.
So tomorrow's the better beach day of the weekend.
Tomorrow is really the only safe day that we have of the weekend. And yes, it'll feel a lot better than today.
All right, Liv, thank you so much. Also developing right now, the second meeting has ended between Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche and Ghislaine Maxwell, the former girlfriend and confidant of Jeffrey Epstein. Now, at this point, all we know is that they met for about 3 hours today. Blanche has been saying he would reveal more at an appropriate time. The meeting is part of an ongoing effort by the DOJ to cast itself as transparent. This after fierce backlash from parts of President Donald Trump's base over an earlier refusal to release additional records in the Epstein investigation. The Justice Department says that it intends to share details about what Maxwell said at a later time. Today, Trump says that he hasn't thought about giving a pardon or commuting Maxwell's sentence, adding that it is within his authority to do so. Mayor Adams and Mr. Trump both sounding off today over the DOJ suing New York over its sanctuary city policies. The lawsuit names the mayor, the city, the NYPD, the police commissioner, and city council. The Justice Department filed a 37-page lawsuit claiming New York's sanctuary city policies are violating federal laws by interfering with the Trump administration's efforts to crack down on immigration. The timing of the suit follows the brutal shooting of an off-duty customs agent in Washington Heights over the weekend by an alleged serial criminal who authorities say is in the country illegally. The mayor has been accused of bowing to the Trump administration after the Justice Department dropped corruption charges against him, which the mayor vehemently denies.
Our administration took the White House to court for various reasons more than any mayor in the country. The narrative is that we're just rolling over. No. In those areas that we disagree, we're going to fight on behalf of the city of New York.
We're going against a lot of other places, too. We want to bring safety to our cities, but that's going to be a pretty routine filing with other cities, too. As you know, we've started numerous lawsuits with other cities. We want to bring safety. We've got to get the criminals out, and we're doing it in record numbers.
Mayor Adams has made it clear if someone commits a violent crime, the city should be able to work with federal authorities to bring them into custody. Disgraced former Congressman George Santos is expected to begin serving his 7-year fraud sentence today. He was ordered to report to federal prison before 2 p.m. Now it's unclear where he'll be serving his time, though a federal judge has recommended that Santos be housed in a facility in the Northeast. The New York Republican pleaded guilty last summer to wire fraud and aggravated identity theft charges for deceiving donors and stealing people's identities in order to fund his congressional campaign. Breaking news to pass along to you: the Education Department will begin sending billions of dollars in frozen grant monies to states next week. The money is meant for adult literacy, English language instruction, and other programs. On July 1st, the Trump administration withheld $6 billion in funding as part of a review to ensure spending aligned with the White House priorities. Officials later said the department would release more than $1 billion of the money for after-school programs after 10 Republican senators sent a letter imploring the administration to unfreeze those funds. Today, the man accused of shooting a Long Island police officer is set to be arraigned. 48-year-old Nieves Reyes is facing attempted murder charges. Now, police say they were setting up a perimeter around his North Bayshore home yesterday. According to officials, he was wanted for questioning in a man's murder. Police say Reyes shot the officer through the window, hitting him in the face. That officer, though, is recovering from those injuries. Today, 2 women were indicted in connection with that car crash that killed 2 people in Chinatown last Saturday. 23-year-old Autumn Donna Asencio Romero, seen here, was arraigned earlier this week and is facing murder and manslaughter charges. Another woman, 22-year-old Kennedy LaCraft, was arraigned on criminal possession of a weapon. The indictments will remain sealed, however, until August 13th. We're following developing international news out of the Middle East. Major concerns over the ongoing starvation crisis in Gaza. Fox's Greg Palcott has the very latest on the status of this aid.
Gaza is on the brink of famine, despite hundreds of trucks worth of aid sitting at border crossings awaiting distribution.
Where is the aid? We didn't see any aid. How will we eat? Don't they call it humanitarian aid? Where's the humanity in this?
Even though Israel eased a 2.5-month blockade back in May, aid groups say only a trickle of assistance is getting in. Israel accuses UN agencies of failing to deliver food it has allowed in.
Have here approximately 1,000 trucks, humanitarian aid, that entered the Gaza side. Well, the main problem is the collection and distributing issue.
However, the UN says there is a lack of routes that are suitable and safe. More than 1,000 Palestinians have been killed by Israeli forces since May while trying to get food in the Gaza Strip.
Can you imagine what it takes to put your life on the line to go and try and get a bag of flour? It's because of the way operations are being conducted inside Gaza. It should not be allowed to happen. It's completely avoidable.
The number of people dying from starvation also continues to grow. According to the Gaza Health Ministry, 48 people, including 20 children, have died in just the last 3 weeks.
It is very catastrophic in Gaza, from bad to worse. We are not done with July, and we've already had 5 deaths.
Meanwhile, the U.S. has cut short Gaza ceasefire talks after Hamas showed what the special envoy to the Mideast, Steve Witkoff, called a lack of good faith. In London, Greg Palcott, Fox News.
New Jersey Congressman Josh Gottheimer taking action as the tick population increases in the Northeast. Today, he announced the world's first response system for ticks and Lyme disease. This includes AI technology that alerts people when they enter an area with a high amount of ticks. He also announced a boost in spending on Lyme disease treatment. The congressman was joined by a woman who was bedridden for 3 years because of Lyme disease, which went undiagnosed for years.
But I share my story because it underscores what we know to be true. These diseases cause physiological, emotional, and financial devastation for patients and their families. Prevention is key to mitigating the burden of tick-borne diseases. Early detection and intervention lead to better patient outcomes, and patients with chronic and persistent tick-borne illnesses need real solutions to improve their quality of life.
Officials in New Jersey say that there's been a rise in emergency room visits this summer because of tick-related incidents. Now, if you want to avoid trees and insects, the city's Summer Streets initiative actually starts this weekend. Now, this means that cars will be banned for recreational activities across the 5 boroughs from 7 in the morning till 3 p.m. the next 5 weekends. Summer Streets begins in Queens and Staten Island tomorrow. Manhattan will be joining in on the fun next weekend, and then August 23rd in the Bronx and Brooklyn. All right, everybody, that's your news block for now. I'm Antoine Lewis. Thank you so much for joining us. Tune into the 5 o'clock news on Fox 5 and right here on the Fox Local app for all of the day's news as it develops. Remember, we're dealing with extreme heat, so take precautions, take care, and have a great and safe weekend. We'll see you soon.